When it comes to reviewing bass gear, I'm a bit of a fan of a good backstory. And in the case of Manhattan and Prestige basses, the Session 1 bass that I have sat on my lap right now, take Neil Jason with a 50-year career with over 500 album credits to his name, and a chap called Jack Thompson, who similarly has a very, very long career in musical instrument development, production and branding. You bring them together and I think a little bit of magic happens. Neil and Jack's inspiration for their collaboration has come from a bass which has been tried and tested in Neil's career for many, many years, his 1963 jazz bass. And the Session 1 takes inspiration from that very bass to bring us a familiar outline, some great tones, playability and some really nice features that you might not get on a standard off-the-rack bass. I'm in soft focus now, as I'm going to start at the headstock end in focus, and I'm going to work down the neck onto the body, check out the electronics, and of course some of the tones that we can get out of this rather cool instrument. Around the back of the headstock we can see some lightweight open gear tuners from Wilkinson, and part of the Manhattan bass's identity, I suppose, is we have this red rear facing. The neck is jazz bass all the way and it is super skinny, and I really love this satin finish as we work down the back of the neck. Coming over the nut, which feels to me to be a standard 38mm for a jazz bass style instrument. The edge of the fretboard is rolled and is super smooth. It feels like I've been playing this bass for a long while. And the fret installation is, as we expect for a modern instrument, nice and tidy. We have these really nice contrasting inlays, dots on the fretboard, and the fretboard is rosewood. However, on the side of the fretboard we have luminlay. Luminlay, when charged with a torch, glows in the dark, which I think is a really super addition for any instrument that is going to be expected to play on stage. The bass, as one would expect, is a standard 34-inch scale length, and the fretboard radius is a 9.5 inch. So it's a really nice balance between a cool vintage vibe, but also should you wish to bend those strings a little, then we've got a radius which is going to allow that too. It feels super comfortable and very familiar. Switching to my second camera, we get to see the body in all its glory. This well-known jazz bass outline, but on these particular models there's no pickguard, which I think is especially tasteful when we've got a really nice grain such as this ash body. Session 1 basses come with ash or older bodies, and this one is reassuringly dense and it sounds great to boot. Onto the body we have two single coil pickups that have been custom wound by Wilkinson. A nice 60s style bridge here with spiral saddles. And we have a standard passive harness, as we'd also expect on a passive jazz bass. As I mentioned earlier on, this bass has some really interesting and useful appointments. Not only do we have the lightweight tuning keys, but also we have a carved heel. There's no neck plate, and we have recessed bolts to keep this whole section here as shallow as possible for those who like to play north of the border up the dusty end. Around the back of the bass, you can obviously appreciate this absolutely wonderful ash grain here, but things get a little bit interesting round the back of the instrument. It seems that Manhattan Prestige Basses as a company know that us bass players, we can't leave anything alone for 5 minutes, can we? We want to put our own pickups and electronics in. I guess this gives the bass options for upgrades later on. The control panel here is actually held in place with magnets, and we have a little finger cutout here where I can remove the whole lid off. As I move the panel away, we can see that there's loads of space in the compartment here. This could be to keep the weight down, but also there's plenty of space here for more electronics should you wish to upgrade your bass. What a brilliant idea. The playability and action out of the box for the Session 1 instrument is really comfortable, and I could go and pick this up and play it immediately without wanting to tweak too much. Of course we want to hear the tones, and it is jazz bass all the way. As I mentioned earlier on, there are two single coil pickups on the bass. Let's have a listen to the front pickup on its own, then the bridge pickup, a blend of the two, and then we'll check out the tone control as well. And here's the bridge pickup soloed with the tone all the way open. Both pickups on together have that characteristic jazz bass sound that we all know and love. I've pulled back the tone control and the bridge pickup just a little bit to give me a nice rounded tone with a smoother top end. So there we have it, the Session 1 from Manhattan Prestige Basses. Where else are you going to find a package that includes a tusk nut, magnetic backplates, lumen lace side fret markers, custom wound Wilkinson pickups, rolled fretboard edges and contoured neck body joint. Furthermore, you also get some D'Addario strings thrown into boot as well. I think what we have here is a great little bass from a lesser known brand so far, and it's one that you're going to probably want to add to your shopping list to look into and find out some more details about. Certainly check out their website for more details about the range of instruments and the colours available. Of course, check out my written review in Bass Gear Mag. So head on over to bassgearmag.com to check that out, and all of our other video reviews of all the latest and greatest in the world of bass. For now though, thank you ever so much for checking out this video. I've been Dan Veal. You've been watching Bass Gear Magazine.